Alright guys, today we're going to, or rather I should say, I'm here with Girlpainter2010. Say hi Girlpainter2010.
Hello everybody.
And we're going to have a little bit of a mess around with some airbrush. Now this is a first time for Girlpainter. She's never even held an airbrush today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take her through some very simple exercises just to give her an idea of what it's all about, and we'll see how we progress from there. We're going to be using the Badger 105 Patriot today. Excellent airbrush. And I'm also going to be using, just for ease, you know, so there's no mixing or messing around, so we can just put paint straight into the airbrush. I'm going to be using Badger Precise Design Model Flex Superb Paint. Excellent little dropper system on the airbrush as well. It comes with a pipette that's already on there, so I can just simply dab some paint in. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to draw a few lines explaining to Girlpainter what I'm doing with the airbrush, and then we'll see how you get on. Okay. Right, okay. I'm just going to add some paint, guys, to the airbrush. I'm going to put a fair amount in because we're going to be messing around a fair bit here. Just any colour. I'm actually using, what am I using? Oxide red, Tuscan oxide red at the moment. I'm only going to put that on as well. Okay, so as you can see, what I'm doing, I'm just making sure that there is indeed some paint coming through the airbrush. Now, depressing, as you can see, there is a very small amount of paint coming through. So depressing them, but not pulling back on the trigger. That's it, nothing. Okay?
Okay.
Now slight pulling back on the trigger now. And moving the airbrush at the same time, as you can see. Again, a fine line. Distance is important, because if I do the same pressure, but further away.
Wider.
You see the difference?
Yeah.
It's much more wider. But you can do all sorts of things with it. Okay, so why don't you just give it a quick go to start with. I'll hold onto the paper so it doesn't move.
So
depress.
First, nothing's coming out.
Slightly pull back and move in the airbrush as well. Okay. Just do a few different varying strokes at different distances. And did you see what happened there?
Yeah, but
Stop. You held it in position too long and it pulled.
Yeah.
Okay. Now try a further away distance with pulling back on the trigger more. You see the difference that's happening there?
It's getting used to that, how quick it's going to come out. So how soon I'm going to move the airbrush, isn't it?
Well, that will vary dependent on the mix of the paint, how thin it is, and so forth. Now let's start talking about closer stuff now. Going closer. Closer, depress, but very slightly pull back. Very slightly. You're going tiny bits at a time. Now stop. You see what's happening there?
It's pooling up because we're going too slow.
Well, there's a lot of paint coming out at the moment,
right.
Probably due to the Badger paints, which are very thin, and therefore it's coming out very easily. Once you use different types of paints, different types of acrylics fingered in different ways, they will actually exit the airbrush differently.
Right.
That will come through practice. So don't be quite so close to the paper now, and just do a few more tries. Okay, stop there. So you've got that thickness line. Now I want you to do a thinner line. I'm not going to tell you how to do it. I'm just see if you just picked up on what I'm saying. No, that's too close.
Too good.
Better? Stop. See? It's thinner.
Yeah.
Now do me a thicker line. Not bad. Not bad. So you're getting the hang of that, no problems. So I think really what we need to do now, well, just have a few more blasts. Get used to the action of the airbrush, varying distances, varying different amounts that you're pulling back on the airbrush. Do me a circle. Now colour the circle in. Too close. You're too close. So what you've got to bear in mind is, when you're doing this sort of thing, say I wanted a circle, okay? Start off with a nice big circle. That's a bit nondescript, isn't it? There we go, we can see that better. You can start off too far away and cause minimal damage to your model if you cock it up, basically.
Right.
So if I start here, quite far away, and I'm pulling back slightly.
So it's better to be
you can see the blast area there. No, it's not better to be further away because you'll end up spraying off the model that you don't want spraying.
Yeah.
So if I go closer now and pull back slightly, see the movement of my hand?
Yeah.
Zigzag, or like left to right.
Yeah.
Not focusing on the one area, but colouring it in slowly. See, the idea of an airbrush is not to fill all the area with colour in one pass.
It's to do it in
several
layers.
You see the way my hand's moving?
Yeah.
And what I'm slowly doing here, and yeah, we are working on a cheap piece of A4 paper, but every now and again, by the way, give it a blast, like that. Clears any crap off the nozzle and off the needle. And then you'll find all of a sudden the paint starts to come out easier. So I'm actually just doing slight layers there.
Okay.
And I've managed to get relatively uniform amount of colour. I think I've run out of paint, guys, let me just check. I'm going to put some more in just to make sure. Always shake your paints. Always. Okay. Just a few drops. That's a bit gloopy. Okay, now I'm going to give it another blast. Straight back on the lever. Making sure that it's coming out. Now, what I want to do here, I can probably do it with this one. I'm going to draw a circle. Okay.
Okay.
And I want you to fill in that circle just like the same way I just did it. Gentle layers. Blast on the side. There you go. See? You see what happens?
Yeah.
It's clearing any dry paint that's on the nib or on the needle.
A bit better.
It will feel better. Blast it again.
It's getting as used to how you hold it.
And then just carry on. Fill that to a solid colour. That's not coming out, is it?
No.
So let's have a look. Okay. That seems to... Oh, it's because we've run out of paint. Okay, so I'm just going to stop the camera a minute, get a fresh piece of paper and we'll move on. Okay, so what I've got here now is a paper with some just predefined shapes on, and what I want you to do, pick the easiest one for you at first, which is probably this big circle. I want you to stay within the confines of the area. Colour it in.
Right, okay, let's have a go. Right, it's coming out nicely. That's crap.
Take your time. Try not to be too close to it at first. You can always move in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get used to the motion. Never in one spot too long. Keep going. Now you don't want patchy colour, I want solid colour. Don't be tempted to go too quick, too fast. Okay? Now as you can see, you've got a bit of bleed off in colour there from the actual area that you want. What you need to do is judge your distance. I might have the PSI a little bit too high on this. Okay, just keep practicing your shapes. Try to stay within the confines. It might be better for more fine work using a smaller nib airbrush. But at the moment, that's it, you're getting there. See, gentle layers. You don't want to overdo it. little bits at a time. Just try to keep the basic shape, don't worry about the bleed off of the colour, but consistent colour. See the patches?
Yeah. Right, here we go.
Now, you've got that blob there and
Because
that
I'll
blob
get there for too long.
Exactly. Okay, let's turn it around. There you go.
Let's try this one now then.
You don't have to have a load of air. Always remember, you don't have to fully depress.
Which is what I'm not doing at the moment.
Now, do you finding it better control?
Yeah. I think.
Smaller amounts of paint to leave in the brush.
But I've got better control, look.
See? See, I can actually see that half elliptical far better than the others now.
Yeah.
But you need to master the patchiness. So go back into that same one again. And just go over the areas that you think are patchy. Okay, now try the circle.
Oh.
See? You imagine your airbrush is a pen.
Yeah, have you seen my writing? Kit can write better than me. And neater than me.
Okay, keep going until we run out of paint in the brush. You don't have to be quite so harsh with that blast either. Keep the speed that you move consistent. Not quick then slow, quick then slow.
Oh, too long in one spot. Even I knew what I'd done there.
That's it. That still seems patchy, so I want you to give me solid colour there now. See how it's getting more solid now?
Yeah.
There you go. Not so bad. Now we're going to try something just a little bit more complex. Okay, so what I got here is a piece of scenery that I used earlier, and I've been just give it a quick blast with the airbrush, with the Patriot, to give it sort of like a rust colour. Fantastic paints for that. These are the this is the dark Tuscan oxide red. We're going to start with that. Okay.
Okay.
Now what I want you to do is paint this door, which I've deliberately left. I'm just going to put a bit of paint, because you're not going to need a lot at all. That was about 5 drops, that was.
Okay.
Just making sure it's coming through, which it is. Give it about there. Basically, I just want you to avoid the other areas. Hold on to the model with your other hand. Imagine it's a pen, okay? And just start off taking it nice and gentle, nice and gentle. That's it. To the whole door. You can see where the spray is hitting, and you want to avoid the other areas, okay? Remembering it's a 3D piece, so you've got the rim of the door. Not too close. I can tell you're getting very close by the air pressure. Okay, now down the top edge of the door. You can see the paint hitting it in the right light.
Yeah.
So hold it so it's sheening with the light, so you can see where the paint's hitting. See? Okay, that's enough. Don't go overkill. I think maybe a little bit on that side there.
We're receiving a transmission.
Get my email. Okay, that's enough. Back the opposite side. Is there anywhere? No, I don't think you need anything on that. So that looks pretty even colour, doesn't it? Yeah?
Yes, it does.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's clean the airbrush and we'll go on to the next colour. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put some light Tuscan oxide red, Badger model flex, into the airbrush. We don't need a lot, just a few drops. Make sure it's coming out. No problems at all. Now, what I want you to do is spray just the centre of the panel. So, as you can see, hang on a second, there it comes. Now, do you see the way I left?
Some of the edge.
Okay.
Okay.
Basically, you're going to be doing the same now. On this section, and there and there.
Right,
Gentle at first, just pull back really slowly if you're frightened of the paint coming out too quickly. The centre, aim for the centre first and work outwards. You're a little bit too close. That's it. Hold it there. That's enough. Now move on to the other sections. Don't be tempted to get in too close to the airbrush. That's perfect. Do you see how that developed then?
Yeah.
Gentle air. Pull back with the brush, you're too close.
Yeah, it's just me. It's obviously just me, the way I'm doing it. Oh, too much and too close. Even though I could see that.
When you do that, you need to be here.
Right, okay.
Not needle 2mm from the surface. You're spraying the same. You're getting too close to the airbrush. It's a cone of spray that's coming out. So, you know, it's because it's so fine. You're fearing too much. You're going on the, you know, the surrounding areas, but you don't need to because you're controlling the spray. Look at the card now. How far away I am.
Yeah.
See what I mean? And what you're tending to do is
doing that.
Okay. So you just need a little bit more in that corner section. Get a bit closer. You'll get used to the distances. Keep still. Don't wave it around until the paint's coming out. Okay, hold it there. And we could do a bit there and there, just to make the door a little bit more uniform. That's it. That's all you need to do, just to make sure that the spray's coming out. Actually bring some paint out then, you need to pull back on that lever a bit more. Okay.
It's obviously, this practice makes perfect, but
okay, what we'll do now is we'll change the colour and we'll go on to the next stage. Okay, so this is what she's done so far. As you can see on the centre door now, she's applied the two-tone Tuscan colours, wasn't it?
Yes.
I forget what they are. But now what we're going to use now, we're going to use Rust, Badger Model Flex. I'll give it a good shake. I'm just going to put some in the airbrush now. Now this is a much lighter colour and will be much more apparent when you spray it on. You will see it. Now I'm going to do a small section. I'll start over this end again. Now what I want to do, just make sure I'm in camera shot, is just aiming for the centre of that panel bit, very lightly. That's it.
okay.
See that, guys? That's all I wanted to achieve. Now you do the same there, there and there. About there, try about there. Aim for the middle.
Oh.
See, that was too hard, obviously. Pulling back too far on the trigger, gently. That's it, that's it. You're getting it. You've literally got to aim like a pen to where you want it. Okay, hold it there. I want a bit there and there, and along that bar there. So you're aiming now. Literally look at the point of the airbrush. Don't move until you see paint coming out, because you're just moving pointlessly. Okay, hold it. I meant there.
No, I've gone there.
Okay,
I told you my
carry on. That's enough. That's it. A little bit on that top bit there. That's alright. It was a little bit heavy, but that's okay. Okay. See, what you've done there is just concentrated a little bit too much there.
Yeah.
But when it's wet, it always actually looks worse than what it is.
Right.
Now, you've missed the top edge of the door there.
I think I'll be right with base coating.
You don't need to do that every single time.
Right, okay. I'm just trying to get in
It
the
doesn't
habit.
dry that quick. Okay, hold it there, because that was just, you know,
Way too
borderline. But no, as you can see, it's still quite uniform. There you go, guys. Still quite uniform to the colour.
That was just pure luck then.
Okay, so time to swap colours again. Okay, so now, as you can see, she's worked on the centre of the door here. Now I'm just going to show a bit of a slight different variation in colour around the bottom end, sort of like a bit of a mud. Bearing in mind, guys, that this is just sort of like the airbrush stage of like this piece of barricade. Now we're going to use Rail Brown from Badger Model Flex. Whoops, pressing the good job, there's no paint in there. Alright, now this is a very light brown. This is very simple section, what you've got to do now. You see, it comes out very easily, this Badger paint does, it's amazing. Now I'm just going to do this very small corner here. What I want you to do is that. Okay?
Okay.
I want you to do it for the rest of the door. So keep it about there, tilt it. So you've got a nice angle, flat on flat, you know what I mean? Keep it flat. You imagine that the cone is going to hit it like that. Okay? Always aim away from it just in case you're frightened of going too high up. Keep going, backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. Okay, hold it. Perfect. Alright guys, quick colour change and we'll be back. Alright guys, for the airbrushing stage of this little piece of barricade now, we're just going to finish off with a bit of roof brown from Badger Model Flex. And we just need the tiniest amounts in here really. There's just 5 drops.
Okay.
Just checking to see if it comes out okay. Yeah, it does. Now what we're going to do here, just on this section here where I am before, all I'm going to do is just spray a little bit. So what you've got is a graduation of colour there.
Right.
Subtle as it may be, but that's exactly what we've got.
Okay.
So what we need to do now, you need to do the same sort of thing.
Angle, same angle as that.
Always aim lower if you're frightened of hitting until you get used to gauging where the cone of spray is going to hit. Careful not to go too high. A little bit more in the middle of the door, at the bottom. Okay, over that far side there. Okay, hold it there. And that's it. That's it, pretty much done. So, as you can see guys, on camera, Girlpainter2010 has now painted that centre door.
Yay!
And she's matched up what I did previously, using the same paints, the same airbrush. So that's pretty much what it's all about. Now we would class this as just the airbrushing stage of a piece of scenery. Obviously you could apply washes, you could apply dry brushing, various other weathering effects, but the key work and the majority of the work has been done with the airbrush. Wasn't that hard, was it?
No, it wasn't actually. It was easier than I thought.
Yeah.
But just, I think it's with getting control of that trigger is my problem.
The trigger and the distancing from the airbrush nozzle to the actual piece, and always, you know, bearing in mind, if you wanted to spray the bottom end of that, it helps to actually hold the piece that you're spraying level with the cone of the spray of paint that's coming out.
And then downwards, just in case.
Just in case you've got the nozzle too high and you're just going to hit it up here somewhere near the door and just completely cock the piece up.
Yeah. But first time I've ever even put my hands on an airbrush.
Yeah.
Other than opening the packaging. Anyway.
Yeah, and it's come out alright, so I think we'll be seeing a lot more airbrush work from Girlpainter2010 in the future. Maybe even see a few tutorials from her in the future, you never know. So there you go guys, hope you enjoyed that little lesson I gave Girlpainter2010. I'm sure she'll be using it all the time now.
Oh yes, we'll be fighting for time on the airbrush now.
Okay, cheers for watching guys, don't forget to comment and subscribe, and of course we'll both see you in the next one.